So the first part of this video, it's going to sound like I'm doing an ad for a level, and I promise I'm not, although I do get emails asking for me to advertise mostly kitchen products on this channel, so it just keeps getting weirder and weirder. But I can promise you, if you ever start a house project, and I don't know much about finishing them, but if you start a house project, these things are super useful. So if you're hanging a mirror, if you're hanging a picture, if you're putting in backsplash, or even just installing a refrigerator or a stove, having them level is very useful. And it's very clever too, because it's just a clear tube with some liquid and then a little air bubble. And when that air bubble's in the middle, you know you're level. But the whole function of this is to point to things in the real world. If I just walked around going, my level is like level, and just didn't reach out into the real world, this thing becomes really useless. But that's exactly what's going on with language. We have sounds, and some of these sounds point to direct experiences in the world, and that's very useful. But modern humans, we have so many sounds that no longer point to anything in the real world, and we're totally bamboozled into believing that they're still meaningful. Consider I am a success. Well, you may look around and maybe you've pulled off the scam where people believe that you own all this stuff. Great, congrats. But pointing out the additional, well, I am a success, that's meaningless. Because you can't point to it in the real world. You can point to all this stuff, but what is success? Well, I'm successful because I have all this stuff. It's very circular and totally unnecessary, and it's completely meaningless. Now, of course, that's also true if you think you're a failure, because maybe you have no money. That doesn't mean you're a failure, but we've been led to believe that these words have meaning, even though they're completely made up. Now, again, I've done this in a couple other videos. I've talked about the big, these beliefs that really can have some effects in the world because we believe in them, even though they don't exist. Things like depression, things like anxiety, things like happiness too. So imagine we go around and we say, I am happy, or I want to be happy. That doesn't add anything because it's meaningless. Show me happiness. Would you even know happiness if it fell upon you? We have these physiological states, but the reason happiness is so elusive is because it's another one of these made up words. Saying I want to be happy is like saying my level is level.